All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar series on qualitative data and research you can shape, guide, and trust. My name is Odun, and I'm one of the founders here at Insight 7. We've been in the space for over 3 years, helping research teams, both in-house and agency teams, to make sense of qualitative data at scale. We have learned a lot of lessons along the way, working with diverse teams, and we have also shaped our approach and come up with a set of principles for how we believe core research should be done. Everyone is familiar with the latest technology around AI being able to accelerate research, but many teams are still not satisfied with the tools they have encountered or tried. A lot of people have lost confidence. Some people have returned to manual methods, which we don't believe is the answer. But we just want to share some of those lessons that we have learned along the way. And towards the end, we're going to leave room for questions from the attendees. All right. So I'm just going to dive into a few slides. I'll also show a quick demo. And with the demo, the idea is we want to show how we believe core research should be done, how the user experience should work, and the value to be gotten from the process. And then the idea is that can inspire anyone watching, listening, to go make demands of whatever solutions they're using, and make those kind of demands, and make sure that they're having the best kind of experiences and delivering value to their end customer. All right. And so the scope of today's webinar is around in-house teams, research teams being able to leverage AI to turn conversations into reliable insights for their customers. I talked about our perspective and our approach, our principles. We strongly believe, even with how much change we've seen in the industry the last couple of months, few years, that the researcher is still at the heart of the research process. The researcher is still the hero, right? We believe that even though AI can automate data synthesis, researchers are now empowered to be able to uncover deeper, more nuanced truths from feedback or research data. We believe that researchers are now more empowered to optimize their time, spend less time on manual tasks, and more time on strategic design, iterative testing, and making more impactful recommendations. We also believe that even though they can leverage AI for rapid unbiased analysis, it is important that they also make sure that they're getting the right consistency, the accuracy across their projects and deliverables. And then researchers are also empowered to be able to share evidence-based findings, fostering understanding of customers, understanding of the market, and stakeholders across their teams. But what is still broken today? Like, what do we see from where we sit in terms of how teams are still doing research? We see that there's still teams who are doing manual research. They're still manually analyzing data at scale. They have failed to evolve with how the market has shifted. Many teams, I've been to a couple of conferences this year, both Quirks in Chicago and New York. The conversation has mostly been around how many research teams are being more agile, cutting the time it takes to go from a brief to, hey, we have insights that are ready to use and to be deployed on the field. But we still have teams that are being manual in their methods. We also have seen a number of teams adopt AI and try to be more efficient in their workflows. But a lot of the tools today still produce very generic summaries. They're lacking evidence in their process, providing context to the user or the researcher, and not being as useful or valuable to the researchers. And then we also find that there's a lot of fragmentation in how people are doing work. using multiple tools for different types of jobs. That makes the process more laborious. And we have come to the conclusion that teams don't just need faster research. They need, research that they can trust, they can trace the evidence of, and then they can customize. And that is at the heart of how we think about qualitative research today. And so at Insight 7, our approach really is, human-guided, evidence-backed research. We believe that research should be malleable. You should be able to shape the research that you're working on, or the project that you're working on. Building custom workflows, leveraging the right kind of frameworks, identifying the journey of customers, of stakeholders that match your research methodology, giving you those the tools that would help you shape the data in the ways you want to shape it. We also believe that researchers should be able to guide the research process, right? You are maintaining your human judgment, but keeping that in the loop as you work with technology to refine, speed up the process. You should be able to review, you should be able to edit, you should be able to refine how the output of the AI generated insights will work for your business or whatever project you're working on. And then verify. Every insight should be backed by evidence. You're seeing where it's coming from, you're seeing how it was derived. You have that traceability, and there's credibility behind the insights. So you can go back to your stakeholders or your customers with confidence that this is the right kind of conclusions that we can reach from the data. And so I'm going to show a very quick demo now on how we approach, research, qualitative research, providing the tools that help teams shape, guide, and trust their research. And so I'll show a demo of unified analysis, being able to see insights across multiple interviews and analyze them together, being able to trace the evidence behind the insights, and being able to generate ready-to-share outputs across the process. I think one other thing that will stand out, even as many tools start to build in some of these features, I mean, we were probably like over a year ahead of the market, but we've seen many other tools start to build in some of the capabilities that we have had since 1 year ago. But we believe that the way the capabilities also comes together matters for the end user experience. And I hope that jumps out as I show a very quick demo of the product. So I'm going to jump in now, and here I have a project within Insight 7, 2 core areas of the app, projects and library. So library will be where all your files will go, and then projects would be a way to cluster related files in the platform. Here I have 2 interviews, one with Steve Jobs and one with Jeff Bezos. Both interviews have been transcribed already. And so I have the transcript here, and I'm just going to synthesize both files. And so within projects here, you could have hundreds of files and synthesize them together. There's also a section here where you can add like context or discussion guide, and product information, any other context that will help you, extract the right, more accurate insights from the data. We have a very intuitive experience for you to, direct the AI for the work you want to do, the job you're trying to get done. And this ties into the ability to ship, the data, right? And so I'll start out off with one of ability to extract themes from a data set, but there are more capabilities here. So ability to extract quotes, highlight reels, ask questions, segment, extract segmentation insights from the data, the ability to generate reports, journey maps, empathy maps, things like that. And so this ability to go in and say, hey, here's what I want to see, that's going beyond summaries, to be able to slice and dice data in different ways is what we frame as the ability to shape the data, right? You can turn that data into something that is useful for a certain use case or job to be done. And so if I click into themes, I then get an experience where I can actually guide the data, right? I can tell it exactly what I want to see. And so you can see here by default, we have like smart defaults where, very quickly you can start to get a baseline of what are the key ideas in this data. But I could go ahead and say, hey, I'm not really interested in seeing like compliments or motivations. I want to see risks and challenges. And so I'm shaping the system to get exactly what I need out of it, right? You also have a way to tell the system what kind of goals you have to achieve. So are you trying to drive up engagement, adoption, retention, whatever it is? If you're not interested in some of these, you could, remove those and say something else. Okay, I'm more interested in driving up revenue growth, right? We're doing this project so we can scale up revenue, right? And so passing this context into the system helps you shape how the data comes back, right? And so if I go into that particular dashboard here, the themes dashboard, I then see like how I can visualize the data, right? And so here we have some sentiments, we have the insights that have then been clustered into themes based on topics. If I click into each one, I can then see the insights that were extracted, classified by type, by project goal, with the evidence backing each of those insights. And so this ties to the third principle that we have, which is every insight that we mine should be backed by evidence, right? So, and there should be traceability to, where you're getting it from. And so you can see here, this particular insight in this project came from, comments by Jeff Bezos within the call he had. And so here's the quote. I could click into that particular file and then see the actual transcript and it highlights where it's coming from. I can clip the data, just extract a quick clip, can copy, I can act on it. And so you can see here different ways to visualize and see evidence in the data and that traceability. And so there's so many other capabilities here, but then still in line with shaping the data, you can then go ahead to turn this into a report if you wanted to, the different formats, and that will further process the data into a format that you want to consume or utilize for your project. There are other capabilities here, but as I show those capabilities, you see that ability to shape, to guide, and to verify where the insights are coming from. So you can see here, the grid here helps you analyze multiple files by asking multiple questions. So you can see I have multiple questions here. It queries all those files and pulls out all the insights in the cells. And then I get a modal at the top as well that summarizes all the answers in the cell for me. So I can easily understand what's going on, right? But you have the ability to determine what goes into the grid. You can do that automatically by uploading a set of questions, like a questionnaire, or extract questions directly from the transcript. You could also enter the questions manually into the grid. So there are other capabilities here. I won't go over all of them, but through all the features, you can see how it's easy to tell the system what you want to see, guide it to extract exactly what you're looking for, and then verify through all the dashboard and the experiences where the insights are coming from. So reports, for example, just turn your insights into a well-formatted report with evidence of where each of those key insights are coming from. So you get an overview, get the key highlights, get the key findings, conclusions, things like that. And everything is packed. And you can format this into like your style or your look and feel for whatever kind of report you're coming up with. There are other features like journey maps where you can visualize the insights across the customer journey or stakeholder journey. And all of this is customizable. You can configure how it works, all the stages, things like that. And then you can extract quotes based on certain topics. It's not just looking at the keywords, it's also looking at the meaning and the intent behind that word that you're looking for. And then you can see here, there's that evidence as well. You can trace to where all the insights are coming from. You can ask questions from the data. You can segment the insights into buckets. So you can see insights based on certain attributes, and we're automatically pulling out some of those attributes so that it's easy for you to cluster the data and then see where all those ideas are coming from. I'm going to pause there and wrap up on that note, that we strongly believe that tools today should provide the ability for teams to be able to shape, guide, and verify the insights to speed up qualitative analysis across their workflows, whether you're an in-house team or you are an agency or consulting firm. I'm going to stop there and then take any questions, if there are any questions.
I just had a quick question about security and data integrity and all that, because when you're dealing with clients' sensitive data, what are the security concerns or confirmations around this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have all the certifications around data, SOC 2, HIPAA. We've been in business for over 3 years, and we take data privacy very seriously. And we have all the evidence of that, working with some of the well-known brands in the industry, and also based on the certifications we have. And so we take data privacy very seriously, and we can provide all the evidence behind that.
Great, thanks.
Right, any other questions? All right, fantastic. I think we would end on that note. We're going to send out the recording of the session, and hopefully we stay in touch over the coming weeks and see if there's ways to work together. All right. Thank you all.